Welcome to my podcast. Today I'm going to talk about another case, pediatric case. So basically, after you introduce yourself, as we all agreed, and double check the child name and date of birth, who's escorted by his mom. So you say, how can I help you today? So the mother might seem concerned and she might say that, oh, I'm really worried about my daughter. She actually not herself. She has issue when she sleeps, she screams, she yells, she's scared. So I don't know what should I do about it, basically. So you need to ask her, can you tell me more? And if she have enough of what she's saying, you need to ask, for instance, how many times have you witnessed that? Do you know what time of the sleep that happened? Does she go on regular time to bed? Is the bed comfortable? How's the surrounding? How's the environment of the bed? Does she watch any television and horror or terror movie, for instance? Does anyone bully her at school, for instance? Is she the only child? Do you have any more sibling? How they get along together? What's her personality like? Does she chat to you, chat to others? Then ask if it's regular or irregular, or if there is any trigger that the mother might have an idea about it. So she might tell you about her own thoughts or ideas, what might trigger those episodes. And you will ask how long ago all of that started, and if there is anything being linked or related at all, and ask her once it happened, for how long it lasts. Does she shake? Does she lose conscious? Does she wee and poo on herself? Does she bite her tongue, for instance? All of that just to rule out and differentiate basically from epilepsy. And ask her once she's okay, does she recall what had happened? What she do after that episode? Does she stay awake or go into sleep? And you will ask if there is any triggers like flashing or any sound could trigger that event for her. And then after all of that, you will ask about the sleep hygiene. So for instance, if the bed is cold or warm, if it's comfortable, if there is any noises around, if it's very dark, or if there is any light around, all of that could be a trigger. And as I mentioned early on, if she watches a lot of television, or maybe nowadays in games, scary stuff, so maybe the girl, she's watching some movie on her tablet, for instance. So just inquire what sort of things that she usually watches. And then you will ask if there is any flu-like illness, for instance, if she's feverish, if there is any rash in the body, if she's complaining of pain. And then after you ask it all of that, you will ask her if there is any medical condition that she's diagnosed with, and if there is any medication that she takes on a regular basis, if there is any family history with the same illness at all, what's the situation at home, parent-wise, if they are okay, if they are, for instance, fighting all the time or yelling at each other, if one of them is a smoker, for instance, or taking drugs, for instance. Also ask if there is any medication allergy at all. And then after you rule out all of that, you need to ask about the 3 main questions about any child. So basically, how was the child delivered? If it's normal vaginal delivery or cesarean. If it was cesarean, you could just ask what was the reason for that. And ask about the child development, that's in the red book. And if the child is up to date with their jobs, and if there is any recent one before this incident. Also ask her how she's doing in school, if she's eating and drinking okay, and if she's copying well in the school, and ask another very important question if they were like recently moved or changed school, so maybe this is something affected child. And then all of that, when you have explored, you will tell her, now I would like to have a quick look and just assess the child and examine them. And then you will tell her, after you rule out all the questions I just mentioned, if there is anything that's insignificant, everything looks okay and seems fine, you'll tell her this is could be something called night terror, which happen in children, and it's a common thing. And you will ask, just try to observe when it happened at night. If the child is working at night as well, try to break the cycle. Maybe you can nude the child or try to wake them before it happens. If you notice that it has same recurring every night or every few days. Also, before going to bed, ensure that the bed is warm enough for the child. Not drink too much water, empty the bladder, which could be a trigger as well. And also emphasize that just try to break the sleep cycle in order for the child to not be horrified and feel anxious and feel calm. And just try to explore and speak to the child and try to cuddle him or her if it's a girl, and try to say to calm her and explain that there is nothing to worry about, you'll be fine, you'll be okay. And of course, make sure that this is her biological child, because sometimes it's adopted. Maybe we can't know by then if it's a familial thing that runs in the family. And just to ensure that the surrounding and the environment is okay for the child. For instance, some child, they don't like extreme darkness, so maybe you put a side lamp in a dim light, which can be something that the child feel comfortable with and sleep. Avoid any movie could trigger horror and terror. And just be understanding and sympathizing with your child, and just explain that if the child did not improve, or if it's escalating more, or if something doesn't seem to be right, or it's not improving at all, just come back or go to the A&E immediately. Thank you.